Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA Trade Deadline Edition. We are a day late. That is completely Seb's fault, but we are here to break down these NBA trades, all the movement that happened, new faces, new places. Just how do you feel overall about this year's deadline? So
This year's deadline, I feel as if it wasn't as hyped up as it was meant to be with the John Morants of the world not being traded. They're talking about Anthony Davis. I feel as if we got just a trade deadline that was just more so about making slight moves to make your team better. It wasn't really a star-studded trade line, despite the fact of just like a James Harden blockbuster deal. But I would call it even a blockbuster deal because the fact that James Harden got traded shouldn't be surprised to anybody. And just Anthony Davis going to Wizards, I feel like that was the only two big moves. I feel like all the other moves were more so pivotal parts to make teams better. So it's like small moves for like a better team around and plus chemistry for the teams. I feel like that's more so what this trade deadline was about, rather than getting a big major piece to add to a team that's trying to contend or a team that's rebuilding and want to add a coveted piece to their lineups.
yeah, a lot of methodical moves by a lot of GMs, all those people up top. Some teams felt like maybe they were just a piece away, right? Some people may have felt they was a role player away. Some people are trying to clear up cap space for this summer. Some is trying to get under the luxury tax. So it's all about, speaking with all those people inside, who make all these moves and just see what is the best for the future. So very, very interesting. But I guess let's just start off with, I guess you can say the biggest trade of the week, let me say, right? Anthony Davis being traded to the Washington Wizards. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't even remember what was given back for Anthony Davis.
Um, a pair of socks, a toenail clipper, and maybe an eighth of Zaza,
No,
because
but
that's
for real,
basically
like, but who was in that trade?
I can AJ Johnson, I believe Makai Branham, and I'm missing one more player, but it wasn't very coveted is how I like to put it. Like it's not like they gave up anything that knows about. And
Okay,
I'll dive into
almost.
that after your take.
Say it again.
Oh, and three first round picks. I forgot that. That's the most. I think that's the most important part of it.
Okay, so I'll give my opinion on why both sides made this deal. If we're talking about the Dallas Mavericks, um,
Chris Middleton. Sorry to cut you off. Chris Middleton. I forgot about Chris Middleton, man.
Chris Mills was in that deal,
Yeah, he was on the Wizards.
so he's on the Mavericks now.
Yeah, so Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Macau Branham, I believe his name is, and I believe a couple first rounders.
Okay, okay. So on the Maverick side of things, you just need to restart, right? You had, pardon me, y'all, a little under the weather, but 2 years ago, right? You had Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. You go to an NBA Finals, right? All you had to do, you end up losing, right? The better team won, right? The Boston Celtics had a more complete roster. I don't. This reminds me of the 2020 Lakers to where you kind of just didn't retool. You sort of panicked, right? And didn't keep building off that success because the next move you make, right, major move, you bring in a Clay Thompson. And then it's like you only gave that what? A couple months, right? Injuries are gonna happen, but what I noticed in today's NBA is like whenever something goes wrong for a team, they automatically hit the panic button. And I just never understand that, right? Because Luka Doncic is a generational type talent. Kyrie Irving, generational type talent. And a Klay Thompson, one of the best shooters of all time. And then all you had to do was just put the right pieces around them. But then you end up trading a Luka Doncic. That was the start of the demise of this franchise. That's like if back when LeBron was drafted after his third year, he said, you know what? Nah, let me go get Tim Duncan. And no disrespect to Tim Duncan, 'cause Tim Duncan, because at that point, right, 05, 06 was still one of the best power forwards, right? And when healthy, Anthony Davis is one of the best power forwards. But I thought, like, why happened to thinking long term? Luka Doncic was in the prime of his career. I don't even know if he even entered his prime yet. He's just been so good ever since coming in as a rookie, right? So that was the first domino, right? And then you still luck out. You get a Cooper flag, right? But you know, once you make this Anthony Davis trade, he's going to be hurt. The man has not played over 65 games. I think maybe once over the last 10 years, right? So you already know what you was getting. You really didn't get no draft capital. The only young player you got was Max Christie. I just didn't understand that. So now you just fast forward all the way to this season. Cooper Flag, you start putting him at that point guard position. That got off to a sort of a slow start. Now that you got him back in his natural role, he he looks like one of the best rookies, right? So I think they now just said we have to just go all in on this and just build around him, period. So when I say that, I mean they just moved off Anthony Davis. Kyrie Irving will be moved. Klay Thompson will be moved. I'll say as early as this offseason because they know they're just gonna go in a complete different direction. So you move off to Anthony Davis once again. One, he's injury prone, and two, sometimes you just need that complete reboot. You can't just keep saying, "Oh, we'll wait to see if these people can play these type of games together, and we'll just keep waiting." That was like the Clippers waiting for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard just to have that playoff run together. You keep banking on something, it ain't gonna happen, right? So just fresh start for them. On the side of the Wizards, no one goes to the Wizards in free agency. So they went free agent shopping early. You ever heard people say, I buy my winter clothes in the summer and I buy my summer clothes in the winter? They just pre-did it, right?
Talk that shit.
So yeah, so they said we're not gonna get no big name free agency. Let's trade for a Trey Young. Let's trade for an Anthony Davis. And it sounds good on paper. But they're still so far in the doghouse that this is not a for sure thing, right? Because the X factor on this whole ordeal with the Wizards is Anthony Davis. If he's not healthy, the team is a playing team at best. There's just no way around it. I like a lot of their young talent, and Trey Young, I think, is a special type point guard, but he's undersized, right? And he's not a defender. So if you don't have that Anthony Davis down there, right, to be that defensive anchor and to be that 28 and 10 guy when healthy, this whole thing is just not gonna work. Because then it's kind of like you just put Trey Young on a different version of Atlanta. There's not a huge difference. I just so this whole thing is Anthony Davis, and just to you, Anthony Davis, get healthy, bro. Your legacy is looking like shit right now, gang. Appreciate all the help with the Lakers championship. You are a champion. But ever since then, you kind of look like dog shit. So he got to take a look in the mirror and know that this isn't no more. Let me just pick where I want to. You are now a Washington Wizard. Lock in and invest into this team. 'Cause I already seen today a report came out. Oh, he didn't want this trade. He changed his Instagram profile to all black. Stop that bitch shit, bro. You acting like a bitch. Cause you was in Dallas, bro. That first game, I'm here. I'm here. This is my and second half you was gone. Haven't seen you since. Come on, bro. You the only damn near 7 footer that gets all these eye injuries, bro. You playing defense, you stick your hand into someone's jersey, you out another month. Come on, bro. You like the light skinned version of Joel Embiid. Every time you fall to the ground, we're thinking that's at least 4 to 6 months. So, Anthony Davis, this whole thing with the Wizards falls on you. They traded on you because they still believe in you, bro. Because look at it on the other side. The Lakers gave you away. They don't believe in you anymore. The Mavericks gave you away. They don't believe in you anymore. Don't let now the Wizards trade you off, bro. If the Wizards trade you, that means you're dog shit. That's all I gotta say about this AD trade.
Mm, all right, to start from the top of this whole breakdown of the trade. The thing with the Dallas Mavericks is they had to get rid of Anthony Davis, and in my opinion, you wasn't gonna find no suitable trade that kind of upgrades your team in the sense that you're not gonna get nothing really back for Anthony Davis in his stage of his career with his injuries and his missing time. That's more than a liability than an asset. That's one. So I'll look at it like that. The Dallas Mavericks side, you get a couple of draft picks. You see what you could do with some of these players, or you flip these players, or it's just a salary dump for a guy like Chris Middleton. That's how I look at it for the Dallas Mavericks side of things, though. For the Washington Wizards side of things, I respect it. I like the move because, like you said, nobody's willingly going to sign to Washington. So it's up to them to bring in players. And in this case scenario, they brought in Trey Young, their point guard, and they brought in a 4 or 5 man when healthy can be very good and a suitable player in Anthony Davis. He brought in a 10-time All Star, an NBA champion at best. My thing is with the Washington Wizards too. I like the fact that they didn't give up none of their young cores. They didn't really give up no draft assets like that. They still retain their rights to their draft assets and a loaded freshman class that you have coming in. You could probably fill in one of these spots to maybe you get maybe the lottery pick and maybe one of the top four picks. You get a Darren Peterson, a Cameron Boozer, AJ Dabas. It's endless players you could get. So I like that move in general too as well. And just the main focal point, you keep your young players to the main core that you're trying to keep. You don't give up a Sar. You don't give up a Keyshawn George. You don't give up a Bob Carrington. You don't give up a Koulibaly. You don't give up a Trey Johnson. You don't give up none of those guys. So you give them time to still develop. And now you could add a mixture of veteran pieces in the free agency market. So I like that move for the Washington Wizards. My only part I don't like is exactly what you said about the reports of Anthony Davis saying how he wasn't happy being traded to the Washington Wizards. Shut the fuck up. You literally have no say where you go. You're not at this point in time. Anthony Davis, I don't even think is a top 15 player right now. I'm sorry to say that. When healthy, he's has all the promise in the world. But I've literally watched you go out because your finger was stuck in somebody's jersey, man. At this point, I think that only a certain amount of superstars have to say to where they really can go. If you even a blind man could see that there was no market for Anthony Davis in this case scenario, I'm not detrimenting my team. I'm not gutting my roster for Anthony Davis at this current moment to where at any given point, I don't know if he could play 5 games or it could be out for 40 games. I'm not doing that to my team. So, like you said, Anthony Davis got a lock in because you're in a situation now where your team at best is a plane. And I like the move too. Anthony Davis and Alex R. They definitely could do something on the defensive end. And with the playmaking abilities of Trey Young, they could do something. It's not a bad team. It's not a bad team fully. They still have their flaws. They're still relatively young. They're still learning. But you added a mixture of veteran experience, and you could possibly grow. And shout out to the Washington Wizards too, because you got to find a way to just win. And we're not talking about championship wins. We're not talking about conference finals or nothing like that. As a GM's job, your job is to try to keep getting better, keep selling tickets. I look at it like this: he's like, you got to make a move some way somehow, because like we said, nobody's coming to Washington, nobody's coming to save the day. So it's on us to make the certain moves to bring in these certain type of players. Maybe we get some type of culture going. Because other than that, we're fucked. So shout out to them for that. So like you said, a nigga like Anthony Davis has no say, man. Unless you want to unless you're willing to lock in and invest in on the team, you have no say. I don't think nobody right now is setting their whole roster for Anthony Davis. Nobody's feeding saying, "Oh, Anthony Davis is on the market. Oh, let me give up X, Y, and Z of our core pieces just to get Anthony Davis." We're not doing that. Maybe if this was 5 years ago, we haven't seen Anthony Davis play meaningful basketball for the past 5 years. Last time Anthony Davis was 65 games and up. look like a top five NBA player, look like a MVP caliber player. We was all at home during COVID. We was quarantined. They was in a bubble. Think about how long ago that was. That was like 5, 6 years ago. That's the last time we really seen a prime Anthony Davis. Other than that, what is he giving us? Injuries, injuries, injuries. He come back for a 12-game span, drop maybe 30 points, 40 points. Look like, oh, is AD back? Injury again. So I don't get this notion of he's not happy. Who gives a fuck? Really, who gives a fuck, man? You get paid to play. You get paid millions to play basketball, man. And in your situation, you haven't done nothing to move the needle for you to be traded to a championship caliber team. So what do? You start a culture. You're in the Eastern Conference. It's not like you're in the West to where you got to go against Jokic every night. Luca, LeBron, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, like you know what I'm saying. Shea Gildas, the list goes on. You're in the East now to where you have a fair chance that if you find yourself going 5 out of 5 in your last 10, you have a chance to even be in the plane, man. So you putting yourself in a position now to where you start a culture, start something, nigga. I think I don't know what it is. I don't know if he got soft after winning the ring. I don't know what the fuck it is. If he felt entitled, start a culture. You're a vet. Teach these young guys. You have a guy in Alexander Sarr who was the first pick, I believe, first or second. No, second pick. It was the second pick in the draft. Has talent, leads the league in blocks, can be something special. Mold him into that, man. Be a veteran. Be a fucking leader for once, man. Oh man, that should just piss me off seeing that. What you mean you're not happy? What you mean you're not happy you got sent to Washington? Where'd you want to be sent to? Where'd you want to go? A team that's right now competing in the playoffs has no business sending you over there. It has no reason trading for you because you know why? You're not guaranteed, gang. You're 30, 40 games at best. Your best years are behind you. You get injured is you have brittle bones. It's like what are we doing, man? And don't this is not even a hate, but like you gotta call it a spade for a raid. And what's it? Players aren't hired to coach or mentor. Yes, my friend, and this is where you're wrong. And this is why I love when people come up and say things like that. When you're a certain stage in the NBA, when you're a veteran, you are to mold some of these young guys. That's why they call it having a rook. That's why having a player that you take under your wing and you show them the right way. For instance, in OKC, when Chris Paul got there, he looked out after Shea Gildas and showed him certain ways to do things. Shea Gildas was probably going to do his thing regardless, but you was going to have to mold him to teach him the right way of doing things. You're going to need that veteran experience. In this case scenario, Anthony Davis should be the veteran experience for Alex Sarr because Alex Sarr is already could be tough, but there's
Well,
other points
no,
he can reach.
no one said addressing JV Hammer. No one said that he was hired to coach or mentor. So I don't know where that comment really came from. I believe what Sebastian said was he'll play alongside Alex Sarr, and that'll be beneficial for the defensive end. No one said that he was hired to coach or mentor. He wasn't hired; he was traded there. This isn't working at CVS. Like, what are you talking about, yo, bro? Chill, bro. Like, I don't even know like what that means. No one said that. Like, I'm confused.
You
Like,
know, no one said that though, but that's like saying, you know, you're an experienced guy in your work field, and there's a new guy on the block, and you got to teach him a thing. You're not hired to do that, but as feel me being the older person and the more experienced person, it's only right that you take somebody on your wing and say, "Yo, young fella, this is how you do this. This is how you go around this. This is how you do X, Y, and Z." That's the whole point of this. So Anthony Davis coming out saying, "I'm not happy." Shut the fuck up, man. Just so retire. You've had at least 12, 13 years in the NBA. I know you have enough money tucked. Like, if you don't like your situation, leave, man. Leave. Cause I don't get this thing now to where we're not doing much, but we want the most. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want X, Y, and Z money, but I ain't playing like I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I haven't done X, Y, and Z shit. So I just hope that it turns out for the better. I do like the move once again. I think that this puts Washington to be just competitive. That's all you want out of your franchise, especially a franchise that's been rebuilding for quite some time. You just want to show that you're competitive, that you're still invested in the franchise, that you still want to make moves in order to get us back into a playing or playoff position. Because that's the only thing that really matters, though. You don't want to find yourself in purgatory every single year, finishing bottom 15, always a lottery team. You get what I'm saying? Always tanking. You got to find ways to win and make your franchise better.
yeah, yeah. I could talk about Anthony Davis all day because that man is just a very interesting player at the most. But we do have to move on. Another team I want to talk about is the Los Angeles Clippers. And I'm actually going to give them a round of applause.
I gotta hear this. I never seen you give a round of applause to the Clippers, so
I'm
let's see
proud of
what you got
y'all,
to say.
man. They finally pulled the plug on this fucking team after the last 5 to 6 years. I lost a co-host over the Los Angeles Clippers. Like, shout out to you, Jalen. Like, so you know, this Los Angeles Clippers team, bro, has caused me a lot of anxiety just basketball wise when they first came together. And I'm like, damn, they got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Up until once again having a heated debate with our former co-host Jalen. He crashes out over the damn Clippers and never came back to the show. Just so much, but shout out to them. Because they finally said, you know what? We're not gonna win with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So they've been got off Paul George, so we don't even got to talk about that. But you trade James Harden to get back now a young asset. Bravo. The reports came out that after that was finished, they was taking calls for Kawhi Leonard, right? And I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised they just didn't make that deal. But it's like you just have to know when to pull the plug, bro. Like Jesus fucking Christ. They also moved off Zubac, right? To
I
bring
was
in.
surprised at that move.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming because Zubac is just a great big and he was playing very, very well for them. But you get back a young asset and Benedict Mathurin, right? Who I definitely love. I don't feel like we was ever gonna see his full potential on that Indiana team. Let me also say this. I'm dropping gems for y'all. This offseason is gonna be a lot of player movement too. Kawhi Leonard will not be on the Clippers at the start of next season. Remember, I said this. Kawhi Leonard will not be on the Clippers roster at the start of next season, especially after his uncle couldn't get those private jets. It's over, right? So you got a Benedict Mathurin, you have a Darius Garland. They got some other young assets on that team too. I'm forgetting their names, but I seen when the Clippers played the Lakers. Those two young dudes that they had, I'm just forgetting their names right now, but they definitely do have a lot of game to them. Um, so they're moving in the right direction, bro. The league is not about these 37-year-old plus players coming together. Yeah, man, you remember back in '06, we was in Taiwan and we should nigga, no. Like that doesn't work. And these young cats out here, these YNs, they don't give a fuck about '06 and '07,
You
right?
don't give a fuck
Yeah.
when you was drafted, Unc.
You feel me? You have to move on, bro. Eventually, bro. We're in a new era of basketball. I said at the beginning of this season. This season officially started the new era of the NBA. Once again, that's not saying that the Kevin Durant's of the world, the Stephen Curry, the LeBron James, the Kawhi Leonards, they're not still formidable to James Harden. But they cannot be the number one option on a championship team.
I agree to that.
It took me a while to say that about LeBron James, right? Because I'm
True.
biased. I'm biased to a default, but it's like it's just the truth. Their bodies can't maintain that for 82 games. No, you're gonna have to load manage like a Kawhi Leonard, and there's still a chance that you may not make it to a playoff run. You need these young dudes, bro. So that's why I wanted to shout out the Clippers for saying, you know what, we gotta move on. They also moved off of Chris Paul, but here's why I feel like this franchise is still fucking things up, bro. Because when player movement happens, the league is watching and players are watching. Why would y'all do that to Chris Paul? Y'all know damn well he don't want to be in Toronto. The man came to LA because he wanted to be back with his family for his final season. And y'all said, you know what? Toronto. Like
Just for
across
them
the
to
fucking border, bro. Come on, bro. That's nasty work. That's why free agents don't want to sign with the Clippers either. Come on, bro. Like you don't gotta violate. And I'm still gonna ask, what did he do?
I don't know, man. Every time you ever watch those videos where that one dude he always lip reads what the NBA players be saying, and then he says, "Oh, so this will." I don't know. Once once Tyloo said fuck CP, I think that he dead
All
ass
right, but
meant
Ty
that.
Lue can say all this shit, but Ty Lue hasn't won a chip since Braun, and I think Tyronn Lue's an overrated coach. What has he done besides win with LeBron? What? I'll wait.
Went to the conference finals. Hey, not me.
So I'm tired of all this Tyronn Lue shit.
Is Tyloo more overrated than Doc Rivers?
Yes. Tyronn Lue is more overrated than Doc Rivers, bro.
uh,
Doc Rivers won with a real team, bro, and had to get something out of that roster. Not saying it was a bad roster, but he had to put a whole bunch of different pieces together. He didn't have a LeBron nigga that was the fucking coach.
wait, would you, wait, whoa, 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 come on now, don't do that. Doc Rivers
Yeah.
had three Hall of Famers on one team.
I said he had to. Yo, Seb's gonna. Didn't I just say I didn't say the team wasn't bad? They had talent, but
Yeah, that was
there
like,
wasn't no LeBron in that team. Nothing
yeah,
close. Nothing. I know what they had. I know what they had. My point is that Doc Rivers had a harder job getting them to a finals than Tyronn Lue did with the Cavs. Come on,
mm,
bro.
nah, I
Stop
think
it. Stop it.
Tyron got to get more credit than that.
Stop it. Stop it, bro. Tyronn Lue is overrated, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, bro. And Chris Paul called you out on your bullshit, and then you went to the back and said to send him home. That's bitch shit, bro. Like this new NBA is soft, and you are old head acting like this. I'm sick of it, bro.
Yeah,
Sick
but
of
not everybody agreed to
it.
the way CP do things, though.
Come on, bro. No one respects the Clippers
That's my thing,
franchise,
though.
bro. James
Not
Harden was out
everybody
of
agree.
there, bro.
And mind you, I could understand if this is a bunch of young players. This was a group of old heads we talking about too. So it's like, yo, he's not about to baby or coach us a certain way, nigga. Like we all around the same age group. Like
Stop being so soft, bro. That's like if we was on a team, Seb. I can't tell you, nigga, start playing some defense, bro. What are you about to go to the back and say, yo, trade this nigga, bro? You hear he told me to play defense. He's tripping.
yeah, bro, yo, you moving weird, nigga.
Like, bro, you wouldn't even do that. Like, so stop, bro. This is bitch shit going on in the NBA, bro. I'm sick of it. All this soft shit, bro. Rudy Gobert getting choked, bro. This shit is weird. Like, come on, bro. Niggas gotta stand up for themselves, bro. Tyronn Lue, why didn't you just get the 30 real quick? Head to the back. What's up? Like, but you went to the IRS and said send them home, and then y'all sent them to Toronto. I want you,
I
CP,
mean,
bro. We here, bro. Like they on
my
some
thing
fuck
is
shit
though,
over
they
here,
did
bro.
start winning at a point. So this is why I'm so confused with this organization. They
But
was
that
doing
has
the
nothing, and I don't hold on, I'm gonna let you go. But them winning that had nothing to do with Chris Paul being gone. There's no way y'all turned all over Chris Paul. Get the
it
fuck out
happened
of here,
though.
bro. But Seb, that's because, bro, they started playing serious, bro. Let's not put this on Chris Paul. That's
I'm just
disgusting
saying
takes,
though.
bro. Like
I'm
the
just saying
nigga
though.
was barely playing. What are we talking
Maybe
about?
his presence was throwing
These
niggas
young
off.
teens were running them out the gym, bro. You was
Maybe his
watching the
presence
game.
was throwing niggas off.
Said you was watching the games, bro. They was losing to younger teams, running them out the gym. Had nothing to do with
They
Chris
were
Paul, bro.
6 and
Stop.
21. They sent Chris Paul
Seb,
home
you're
all of a
saying
sudden.
numbers to me. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna ask you a question. Were you watching the Clippers game? Just yes or no?
Yes,
When were playing these young teams, what was happening?
they was getting punched.
So so them turning their season around was not about removing Chris Paul. That doesn't
But
make sense.
okay, so the thing, all right, here's my thing though. So the correlation here is Chris Paul. With Chris Paul there, and I'm not saying that he's the reason why, but it's just so hypothetically speaking, they turned their season around
Yeah,
after.
yes, bro. Yes, bro.
So that's
Because
just a
now I
whole
can also
coincidence.
say whatever team Chris Paul has went to before the Clippers, bro, did they not exceed in wins? Wasn't that the notion on Chris Paul? But now on the Clippers, it's
Except for
they
Golden
turned their
State.
season around because he's gone. Stop it, bro. Like we need to stop
So
saying
that's just a
shit.
big coincidence.
Seb, you act like they've been undefeated, nigga. They've still lost. What are you talking about right now?
Their record, they were 6 and
They
21
started playing up to their talent, bro. They had James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, nigga. What are you talking
after
about, right?
Chris
And
Paul
Kawhi
went
was
home.
hurt. What are you
After
talking
Chris
about, right?
Paul got sent home.
Kawhi was hurt, Seb. You're gonna say Chris Paul
Regardless,
being
after
sent home is a bigger thing than Kawhi being hurt.
no, Chris Paul going home was the bigger thing.
than Kawhi being hurt?
Chris Paul went home, and everything just changes.
Sam, are you about to sit here on this camera and say Chris Paul being home was a bigger factor in them losing than Kawhi being hurt?
Apparently so, because they changed their
I'm
whole season
asking
around.
you.
Yes, yes.
I have nothing else to say. I'm done. Okay.
Good,
Well,
good. So you want to keep talking about Chris Paul all day, or you want to move on to the next subject?
no, this wasn't about Chris Paul. I'm just talking about the Clippers. I had to talk about Chris Paul because he was traded. But if you want to sit here and say that the best player being hurt was less effective than Chris Paul being sent home, then I can't change that opinion. I mean, I would figure if your best player is hurt, you're gonna lose games.
And my thing is this: they were still hooping while he was hurt.
What
Even
are
in
you
games
what are you
he, even in
talking?
game, even in games he didn't play, James Harden was having a better season than Kawhi
James
Leonard.
Harden it can't carry teams as number 1, bro. Guess he's young
And
YNs. He
mind you,
can't do that.
he
He's
wasn't even the
having a
only one
great
that was
season.
hurt. He wasn't even the one that's hurt. Zubac missed time, and they played better with Brook Lopez on the floor too as well. So it's not just Kawhi Leonard. There's other players that was hurt, and they still was doing their thing. They was finding ways to win games.
So that goes against your whole point that Chris Paul being home had nothing to do with them winning, bro.
Had everything to do. Sometimes it's a cloud in the locker room.
No, but bro, why do you have to go off every narrative that the NBA media pushes, bro?
Okay, all right. So you talk about
Like,
it's a
that's
narrative
not
on me.
true, bro. You could have your own opinion. Like,
That
what are you
is my
talking
opinion.
about?
Because how does that work? 1 second you're here and we're trash. The moment that you leave, we start finding a rhythm.
But you also have said on this show, bro, the beginning of the season doesn't always show everything. Teams get off to slow starts. Now that doesn't apply here.
All right, so hear me out. When Carmelo Anthony left this team, let's take the Houston Rockets for example.
No, is that not what you said?
Yes.
But so that doesn't apply with this situation, though. But every other situation.
My point is this. It just so happens
We got him,
that
y'all. We got him.
that doesn't mean anything. Like I was saying.
I'm gonna cook him up for y'all because he tries to do this every episode. I'm gonna get him today. I'm gonna get him for
So
y'all.
6-1, and then you find your
I'm
shit slide after
I'm
somebody
gonna get
leaves.
him.
Tyronn Lue can finally coach how he wants to coach without Chris Paul going on the sideline saying, "Oh, maybe you should guard this, maybe
Now
you
he
should do
can
this,"
coach
giving
how
his
he wants
input.
to coach. Oof.
So two people butted in their philosophy. There's a disconnect in the locker room because the coach and the player doesn't agree, and the player doesn't even play that much. That's my point exactly. So it's not even a big coincidence. What happened is somebody
So
left.
Tyronn Lewis is so elite coach that every team wanted, and he couldn't coach his team because of Chris Paul.
Yes, there was a disconnect in the locker room.
Okay. Well, back to the main point, Sib. I really want to hear your opinion on the trades that they made.
So back to this Clippers trade. More so surprisingly that they got rid of Zubac though, but pulling the plug definitely. Steve Ballmer and then the rest of the organization see the writing on the wall. We have players in their 30s that are just not gonna get it done for us. Um, we lost guys like Paul George, Norman Powell, Russell Westbrook. The list goes on, and one by one, we're just gonna keep losing all these players. So it's better that we restart with a young point guard in Darius Garland. You've probably found a hidden gem in Benedict Mathurin. If you can, grow to be something. You see flashes in Indiana of him being able to score the ball, but can we put that together? Uh, the next step now is just trading Kawhi for some more assets. So it's a sign. It was the writing was on the wall that the Clippers needed to rebuild. They jumped ahead of the gun before everything was too late. Before a guy like James Harden dips and a guy like Kawhi Leonard says, "Fuck it, I'm done playing basketball." Zubac was surprisingly too because he's solid when he plays. So now it's a full rebuild mode. I do like what they're gonna do so far. I trust the Clippers organization to do a rebuild when they have young talent. My thing was this: you had Shea Gildas Alexander at a point, and you literally let him go for Paul George because Kawhi Leonard asked. Imagine Shea Gildas still on this Clipper team finding out who he was. They could have been something special though. So they gotta redo this themselves now and find themselves in a long game. So overall, this should be good for them because at the end of the day, Now you see what works and what doesn't. You build yourself back up in the draft, and hopefully you can still stay competitive. Though the West is tough, everybody knows that. But and one thing about a Clippers team, I don't think they stay out the playoffs for too long. That's one thing about it. They'll find a way to exceed expectations.
Okay. So the biggest domino effect was a Giannis Antetokounmpo that was not moved. He's staying in Milwaukee at least till this off season. A question to you: do you think that organization made the right move, not making a deal now?
Yeah, because teams right now are trying to not I wouldn't say lowball, but they wasn't gonna throw the right trade packages compared to an off season when you had a full season of seeing what you need. In this case scenario, you try to keep as much as you can possible to bring a guy Giannis to over exceed and maybe win a title. So I think in that opinion, teams weren't throwing their best punches. They were throwing enough for the trade deadline. But overall, in an off season now to where they made Giannis available for full trade talks, that would have been a little more thing. Like I'm looking at a team like the Golden State Warriors. They were doing everything that they can possible to get Giannis. They ended up with Kristaps Porzingis. So they wasn't really trying necessarily to throw, oh, take everything that we have, man. Because if you really wanted Giannis, you threw your whole trade package. And my thing is this too. And this guy Giannis is confusing me. Because one second, you're unhappy with the team you talk about. I love to stay here though, but we gotta prioritize winning. And then now it's I'm not going. Which one is it? I don't get it. Which one is it? Like, did you want it to stay? Did you want it to go? Like, have you had thoughts about leaving?
Well,
Like,
what else the thing that I said on the last show? I didn't hear him say anything. I never heard him say, "I want to lead the Milwaukee Bucks." So I don't know where these reports come from, and if it's not from Giannis, then you can't ask the towel boy from Milwaukee, like, nigga, you need to hear from the horse's mouth. And I've never heard Giannis say, I do not want to be a Milwaukee Buck. I've heard him say he wants to your point, prioritize winning and have a shot and things like that. But I've never heard him say he does not want to be there. The second thing you said, that Warriors trade package that I seen is not gonna get any better for that from the Warriors because I should put Stephen Curry in. And who else was they gonna give him?
Draymond.
Like there wasn't like
I
it
think every trade package fall once you start offering me Brandon Pajemski. once you
yeah.
offer me, once you
Shout
offer
out
me
to
Brandon
Brandon
Pajemski,
Podemski, but
I'm declining anything, bro.
shout out to Podemski, but I don't think in the off season, unless you're giving your literal star player, like I don't know what um the Bucks are gonna want because even the destination he wants to go to, Golden State's not giving up Stephen Curry. The Miami Heat are gonna give up everybody but Bam, and what are you gonna trade Giannis for Tyler Hero? Like
No,
that doesn't make any sense. Minnesota's not giving up Ant, so who do you want? Julius Randle?
Jaden Daniels. I
Like
think that
no, like that, like Jaden McDaniels, correct?
yeah, McDaniels would be. I don't know.
He's a role player.
Yeah, but
We're
you know,
gonna trade a top five player in the NBA for a role player. Sometimes we gotta sit and think that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know what trade they were trying to give him. Now you're talking about him and other people from Minnesota, but once again, they ain't giving up. And so if I'm Minnesota, I don't. If I'm Milwaukee, I don't want that either. And what was the other thing? The Knicks. I don't
no, the
want
Knicks pull
Big
back. The Knicks
Bird.
pull back.
I don't want Carl Anthony Towns.
I'll tell you one
We
thing
we
about
we've
Cat.
already seen he can't be the number one player and lead to a championship. He had talent over there in Minnesota's young talent. He can't do that. So what? I think they made the right move, not pulling the trigger, right? Because even getting back, let's say from a Warriors that injured Jimmy Butler, when he comes back next season, how good is he gonna be at the age of 35 years old? coming off an Achilles tear. Like, so they really got to take a long look, bro. Because once again, we talked about earlier, look what happened to the Dallas Mavericks. All you have to show for that Luca trade is Cooper Flag and warranted. Cooper Flag does look good right now, but that still wasn't a good trade. So I think they made the right decision. You brought up something about the Golden State Warriors. I think they're the losers of this trade deadline. You traded away Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis.
Can you tell me when was the last time Kristaps Porzingis played?
I don't know, but I'm asking this question again for maybe Draymond Green, who apparently works with management upstairs. Y'all traded away Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis. That's moving from the 11th seed to the 10th seed.
And you know what they said? I seen a post that said, "Oh, the championship course reunited together." Porzingis and Al Horford. Al Horford is damn near 41. Porzingis plays probably like every other every other month. I never met somebody with more fucking PTO, IR, whatever the case may be, than Porzingis, man. I can't even remember the last time Porzingis played. And don't get me wrong, if we talking about healthy, this team all healthy, young again, oh yeah, an excited team. But these niggas are old. And you still have pods, bro. I'm gonna keep getting on pods because sometimes I just think that you could have you could have delusional confidence. Don't get me wrong though, but it gets to a certain point where you're just not that guy. And every time I watch him, bro, it's just he doesn't move the needle for me. And I sound like a hater, which I really don't give a fuck right now. But it's just like you told me Brandon Pajemski was untouchable, that we're keeping him. You told me that we're gonna get rid of Klay Thompson and move Brandon Pajemski in the starting lineup, and we have nothing to show for that. Stephen Curry said in an article after they won the championship, Paz was going to be the leader of the team. JK was going to be special. Wiseman was probably going to have an all-star or defensive player of the year. James Wiseman, I haven't seen him since maybe 2 years ago in the first game of the season. Jonathan Kuminga now has freaking Steve Kerr apologizing, saying, "I'm sorry it didn't work out here. I wish him nothing but the best. We had a good conversation." Nigga, all you have to do is play him. We're sold on Brandon Wojcicki that every time I look, every time he takes a shot, it hits the side of the backboard and everything looks forced.
All right, I
Bro,
can't. I don't even know if that's true. But hold on a second, Seb. Yo, Seb just went crazy. He said every time you shoot his side of the backboard.
bro,
Can
you
you
want me to
give
show
us
you this?
any visible facts on that, or did you just make that?
All right, what I want you to do is next time the Golden State Warriors are playing, I want you to take Brandon Pajemski for 10 points and watch that be the only low
I know.
basketball.
Why would I put my money on that for? No, I'll watch the game, but I'm not
Okay, all
putting
right,
my
all right,
money when I have 10 points. What the fuck would
all
I
right,
do that?
all right. This is a it's debatable assignment. And this is a it's debatable assignment. You know, homework for it's debatable. To everybody that's watching, appreciate everybody that's watching. When y'all watch the Golden State Warriors, next time the Golden State players are playing on national TV, or if y'all go on your streams, or if you have NBA game time, whatever the case may be, please watch a Golden State Warriors game and tell me if this fella Brandon Pajemski is good. Just watch how suffocating this is to watch him too, and especially when there's no Steph Curry on the sideline. Nope, nope. I'd rather watch Pat Spencer play. I'd rather watch what's that? Oh, Will John. I forgot what this kid's name is. The rookie. I'd rather watch him play. Pods can't pay me to watch him. Oh, we got a
Not
new
they could pay you to watch him.
we got a new honestly, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good,
Someone could
brother.
give you $100. You're gonna watch him play. You fucking fiend. Like, don't even
Man,
try that right now. Don't
you
even
can give
try
me
it, sir. You will
you can
watch
give me a
him play.
thousand dollars. I'm
All
not
right.
watching Brandon Pajemski play.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
offer me the supermax, brother. You could offer me a
Oh.
5 year,
Yeah. All
250
right. All
million
right.
contract. I'm not watching him play. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not gonna
Yeah.
do no. I'm not watching him play. No, I'm not
Right.
doing that.
How
C2
tight
Suave
hold
appreciate
on,
you.
sir? Can I just, how tight is that do rag on your head right now?
Nah, it's pretty alright, man.
Alright,
Not too
because
tight.
I feel you losing your mind, bro.
You think
Like
I'm losing my
people go,
mind?
someone could offer you $37 and a McChicken. You go,
First of all,
and
first of all, I'm on a diet. I'm on a diet, brother. I'm on a diet.
yo,
I'm on a diet.
yo,
Your boy lost 20 pounds, brother. So you think I'm taking a McChicken? Fuck no.
here we go.
I ain't taking
Look,
no $37.
here we go.
All money ain't good money. Money's the root of all evil. And if you tell me I have to watch pods play, I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't. But like the Golden State thing, I just give y'all losers of the trade deadline. I just don't under. I'm gonna just leave it at this. You didn't want to give away pods in a deal surrounded with other players to get Laurie marketing, but then y'all decided we're gonna give up Kuminga and Buddy Hield for the Timu Laurie marketing.
For the nigga that doesn't play, that suffers an illness. We still don't know what this illness is, bro. We don't.
Please tell me where you become an NBA GM. Because it's just you just do
Harvard.
anything.
Harvard.
You just say like I okay.
You go to
Now
Harvard for that.
there was
I
now
was
you
gonna
go to
say one thing
now
though before we well, it's sort of switching the topic though, but you said that you got the Warriors as the losers of the trade deadline. I'm gonna do you one better. The losers, sorry, the losers of the trade deadline. When I say losers, the Miami Heat. I swear, every year I hear how the Miami Heat want to trade X, Y, and Z to get these type of players, to bring in somebody new, to bring in a point guard, to bring in a Bradley Bill, to bring in anybody. I feel like I've been watching the same team for almost like 5 to 6 years. And this is always one of the teams that they say it doesn't matter if it's the off season or it's the trade deadline. They want to bring in new. They want to bring in somebody new to the culture. Yet they're the same team that's always afraid to pull the plug. I seen a report that to get John Morant, it was the draft picks. I forgot who else, and either Khalil Ware or Jaime Jaquez, either one or the other. You mean to tell me, oh, Terry Rozier, some draft picks, and either Khalil Ware or Jaime Jaquez. You mean to tell me you couldn't do that for John Morant? You mean to tell me Jaime Jaquez is so special that you couldn't get John Morant? You
John
watch the
Morant.
fair share of games.
John
If
Morant is a special John Morant's a special talent, but he's tainted goods.
and that's why you could get him for a high. Let me ask you this, right?
He doesn't fit
Is
the culture.
is Khalil Ware or Jaime Jaquez gonna be anything transitional for this Miami Heat team?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are they gonna grow to be all stars or anything like that?
Um
Like, do you see all star talent in either one of those players?
I don't. I right now I wouldn't say an all star, but I think they're important pieces to the team.
Okay, so now let me put this on the table. Khalil Ware would have a game where he goes for like 17 points, 23 rebounds. Then the next game he'll find himself on the bench because Spo said, "Oh, I don't like the way that he was playing. He wasn't playing hard enough." He's up and down. Jaime Jaquez hasn't found any form of consistency in this. My thing with the Miami Heat, every year you offer these trade packages. Oh, I'll give you Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero for this player. Nobody wants that. Oh, I'll give you Jaime Equus. And then you tell me certain players are untouchable. I don't get it, brother.
Well,
You
two
swear.
things in in the past, I'm pretty sure the Heat's made offers. That team's not taking it. I don't think that he's just not calling no one's phone. I'm pretty sure they are. And number two, John Morant hasn't had a game this season that makes me want to trade for him.
I get all that, right? But my thing is like, when are we going to switch up the culture?
But this is also a team that's went to the finals twice in the last 6 years.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, that's who was on their roster. But this is the team we're talking about, and they've been to the finals twice in the last 6 years. So, what culture do you want them to change?
And I think that was with the talent of Jimmy on this team too.
Who
You need,
they brought in? Like, what are we? He was on the Miami Heat. Said he wasn't playing for himself. He was on the Miami Heat.
yeah, but now that's gone. You telling me a playing team like that is going to be special?
Who
Like
said
this is
they?
just.
But who said they were gonna be special?
I mean, you bring in a guy like John Morant, you're expected to at least be a little more special. My thing is this: we got to add talent, man, an all-star caliber player, and then bring him into a Miami
You
culture.
can't just do things to do it though. John Morant has not showed he wants to play basketball, bro. Not just gonna do it because his name is John Morant, bro. He's done a lot in his career thus far that's put him in his own position, bro. Don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel bad. He's made his own decision. He's just like he talks about Anthony Davis stock is low. John Morant's stock is low, and he did it to himself.
I agree to your point. I
Like I
think
now is he a special talent? I think he is, but he has to lock in for himself and show the world, bro. Like what there he's played games this season and at best he's looked decent. But am I about to give up young assets for him right now based off what I've been seeing? No.
okay. All right. So
No.
I just found what the trade package was going to be. They said for John Morant, they was want to give either Jaime Jaquez or Khalil Ware, Terry Rozier in the first round pick. Terry Rozier hasn't played basketball in God knows how long because he was over here betting on himself and faking injuries. That's one. Jaime Jaquez, I could give that up because you could find another one. Khalil Ware maybe a little not too much, but for a point guard, that means we're relying on Davion Mitchell to be our future point guard. And this is not a shot at Davion Mitchell. I do like him, plays defense though, but I don't know. I just don't
Well,
know
I
the Miami
mean,
Heat.
if you feel like the Heat was the losers, I mean, I respect your opinion. I can't give a team a bad grade for staying pat. They just didn't feel like anything made sense for them. Once again, shout out to John Morant. Is a special talent, but you scared teams away. You did too much. And just some certain teams just don't want that in their locker room. We need the Heat. Is a franchise just Pat Riley's up top? He's not going for that.
True, true, true.
Right, and you should have built your value up this season, Mr. Morant. You've been in and out of the lineup with injuries, and when you play, there's games to where you look very, very average. We're just gonna call a spade a spade. Now, if you want to make a trade based off his past seasons, that's on you as a franchise. But if we're going off right now, his stock is as high as CJ McCollum, bro.
That's a tough pill to swallow, Mr. Morant. When you get back on the court, well, this offseason, I think I need more than anything. I need you to take at least 5,000 jump shots a day. You're at a point in your career now where the athleticism is not going to cut it. You're going to get these injuries once again. I need John Morant to shoot 5,000, maybe 10,000 jump shots a day.
I
I need a lethal shooter. I need to change the mechanics on his jump shot. I think that's the only thing that's stopping John Morant from staying healthy on the court, man. It's cool. You know, the athleticism is cool. You know, it looks amazing. It looks box office when he plays. Like I'm not gonna say John Morant's not a box office player, he's not an all-star caliber player. But I think that what's holding him back and was teams kind of scared of. You kind of shoot like fucking 22% from three. No team is really investing in that, especially when you can't stay healthy. So I think that's another cautious thing that teams have. I think he just really gotta shoot the pill. Like he really gotta step away from the just have acrobatic layups and shit and just really get to just shooting the pill, man. Cause right now, I'm not gonna say I lost faith in John Morant, dude, because when I watch him play, there's some games I'm like, okay, a 22 and a 13 assist game. We know you could do that though, but where's the transcendent? Where is the next level? I think that's one of the things GMs were asking. Where is the next level coming at?
That's what I'm saying. Like from year one to what year five this is,
Yeah, what has it? Yeah, when you watch John
what
Morant,
has
what
gotten
has
better?
been different?
Like the
You,
athleticism has always been there, right? He can
yeah,
play defense when he wants to, right? An okay passer. But nothing has really saying, you know what, he's really like, you feel me? Like I seen someone like Jalen Brown get better, bro. I seen someone like Austin Reeves gets better. Austin Reeves has higher stock right now than John Morant.
100%. That's kind of crazy to say too.
Would you have said that 3 years ago?
Mm. So let me ask you this: does Emmanuel quickly have higher stock than John Morant?
No, I think John's still a little over him, but it's not that big of a margin.
It's not that big of. What about a guy like Keontae George?
Deontay
Think
George might have higher stock than John
think
Morant right
about
now.
Keontae George right now. Think about he's like 6'5", Aki can shoot the pill, can get to his spots, breakout year two. I'm thinking about that too. And that's the thing as a point guard too. You can't stay stagnant for too long because there's other guards that's gonna be up there that's looking for that breakout year too. So you can't stay stagnant too long.
Right, that's a fact. That's a fact. There was, a lot of other deals that was made. Like I seen the Celtics get off a lot of well getting out of the luxury tax just gave away a lot of their players to other teams, right? I seen the New York Knicks trade for Jose Alvarado, right? I definitely
They kind of did something smart. I don't know how they did it. Uh, Once again, shout out to Leon Rose. I think that's who they've been wanting to target. They just couldn't find a way. I think trading Yabusele for Dylan Terry and then flipping him into Jose Alvarado just shows the work that Leon Rose do. And for me, I'm just give a quick take on it. I'm not going to stay too long on it, but Jose Alvarado, welcome back to the city, a New York native. Played for Christ the King, man. Did his thing over here and has the whole Puerto Rican people. Yo, the garden's gonna be full of Puerto Ricans in the spot, man. You gonna think it's National Puerto Rican Day, man. Shout out to Jose Alvarado. Welcome to the city, man. Welcome to the city. Welcome back home. And we definitely gonna have the crowd rocking with his defensive presence and all types of shit. So that's all I gotta say about that. I'm actually happy for that move.
yeah. We only got about 2 minutes left on the show. Wanted to give y'all an hour trade deadline. Um, Shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let me just say this.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up too. I'm gonna
Mm.
follow up with you after that, cause
Um, Luke Kennard right now statistically is the best shooter in the NBA.
right.
What's scaring me is that based off history, when certain players come to LA, they turn into bullshit. If I see Luke Kennard come here and he can't hit shots, I'm flying to LA. I'm gonna smack the shit out of him. Like, and that's on everything I love. And if I see Gabe Vincent go to Atlanta now and he turns back to the Miami Gabe Vincent and flying to Atlanta, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you too. And
Yeah,
that's all I
fam.
got. And
Yo,
and, and
wait,
that's all
just
I
wait,
and
just
that
wait, just wait. You know what
what
that means?
I don't.
You see what Brown did?
Oh, you want to do a LeBron narrative? You can have the floor.
Nah, I'm saying you didn't see what he did when he was watching
I
film.
know,
He
I
was
know,
watching
I know, I know what you're talking about, but what narrative do you want to put out?
the narrative. Lakers fans should be happy that this guy Gabe Vincent is gone. I mean, he was a bona fide scrub. Couldn't shoot the three. Couldn't guard nobody.
Oh no, he
Hitting
was
the side of the
terrible.
backboard. Having a low
Yo,
plus
what's
minus on
up
the
with you
field.
and this hitting the side of the backboard? That all right? So hold on. If that's your new thing now. On the show, hit the side of the back. That's not true. He was not inside the back. He was terrible though. He
Gabe
couldn't hit.
Vincent was a
He
bum.
couldn't hit nothing,
Gabe
but he
Vincent
was not
was
inside
a
the back.
bum. From Miami, Gabe Vincent to LA, Gabe Vincent was fucking night and day. Gabe Vincent was a bum.
Facts,
He stole money from y'all. Y'all should have
facts.
him banned. Y'all should have all whatever jerseys is left of Gabe Vincent should be burnt to the ground, down, down. Gabe Vincent stole money from y'all. He was not valuable in one aspect of this team. You can't name me one good game Gabe Vincent had besides maybe what preseason when he had 9 fucking points against the Golden State Warriors. He didn't do shit, man. I'd rather would have Bronny played his minutes instead of Gabe Vincent though. No disrespect, that man can't play. He can't play. Exactly what Stephen A. Smith said. Yo, y'all should, even if y'all don't win a championship, y'all should throw a fucking parade that that man is gone, bro. Kane Vincent was a bona fide scrub, bro. And I promise you, bro, he's not doing the same shit. You know what? Remember that hate I used to have for Killian Hayes? It's directed towards Gabe Vincent now, though, because what the fuck, man? I literally watched him get on the court and the team get worse. So I'm watching the Knicks versus Lakers game, right? You know, my team put belt to ass on your team, man. And I'm watching Gabe Vincent come on the court. I'm just like, this nigga is terrible. Like, he's terrible. He hit 1 3. I'm like, okay, everything else was brick. Like, I go front. I'd rather have you playing out there, brother. If I gave you 2 years to prepare for the NBA, you do more for the Lakers than what Gabe Vincent ever did. That brother can't play,
Nah,
bro.
my knees are cooked. So
That brother cannot
that's
play,
not.
bro. And you know me, like sometimes I give players leeway. You talk about how big players I give them leeway. That nigga, bro, I gave no leeway. Once I knew he was in the game, I said, "Oh, it's great. Oh, we're getting the lead back. Oh yeah, we're cooking with hot grease." Certain niggas, you know, when you come in the game, it's over with. Gabe Vincent was one of them niggas, bro. I'd rather have Jared Vanderbilt shooting corner threes than have Gabe Vincent open for the win. Yo,
Yeah,
bro.
shout out to Gabe Vincent. He just didn't work out for this team. It just got to a point to where even when he was open, I was never confident that he could knock down any shots. His confidence was just gone. Um, yeah, so shout out to him just being in Atlanta. Um, he did earn that money that he got because when him playing in Miami, he was great. So I can't say that that he stole the money. He
This is why you don't
just
give people money. Hold on. This is why you don't give you. This is why you don't pay people, man. Niggas get money and start changing, bro. They money changes people. I'm telling you, bro. Niggas feel entitled. They said, it's all right. I got a $40 million contract. It's okay if I miss 3 back-to-back threes and I don't play defense and I don't run back. That's all right. Money changes people, bro. That's why some people deserve to stay at a minimum contract, bro. People play, yo. When you broke and you don't got $1, bro, that's what the hunger is. When you start getting paid, niggas get lackadaisical, bro. Niggas don't be wanting this shit for real, bro. This is what happened night and day. The only thing that changed with Gabe Vincent was his contract, man. Straight up, nigga got the money and he bamboozled LA. At first, he was like, "Oh shit, yo." When Gabe Vincent came to LA, I'm like, "Yo, this is gonna be a good move." This is somebody that just came off the finals with playing one of his best basketball, hitting timely threes was special. Look how special it is. The only thing special about him is his special ed, man. Trash ass nigga.
yeah. So once again, Luke Kennard, you on the clock, nigga. But that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Debatable. NBA trade deadline edition. If we did not speak about any certain trade, that means that I don't give a fuck about it.
Yup.
That's how I feel. But please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable double underscore.
4 letters.
Very good.
1 word. Ugh. Gee.